Hello and welcome. My name is Crystal and I'm a dietitian and nutritionist with a special interest in IBS and food intolerances. You can find me on Instagram at IBS FODMAP Dietitian. I help people both Australia and worldwide find symptom relief from their IBS. Today I'm chatting through the very popular topic of label reading on the low FODMAP diet and helping you to pinpoint or find those hidden high FODMAP ingredients so that you're getting the best results possible for your IBS. I would absolutely love to connect with you, so feel free to add me on Instagram and send me a message and let me know where you're from. Let's get into it. Okay, so as I've just mentioned, today's video I will be talking through label reading to help you with grocery shopping on the low FODMAP diet. I know that label reading and knowing what to buy can be really tricky when you first start out on this diet, and just remember that it does take time to get used to and you will get better with practice. I myself very clearly remember my first food shop on the low FODMAP diet about 5 years ago, and I cried in the pasta aisle looking at sauces because I was so overwhelmed. So what I've done in this presentation is put together some information for you in one place so you know what you're looking for without having to feel overwhelmed like I did. Just some general tips to get started. So keep any lists that your dietitian may have given you, any booklets or apps handy. So if you don't already, download the MONASH University Low FODMAP app. This app is the absolute Bible to knowing what is low FODMAP and what is not. Write out your meals for the week and a grocery list before you go shopping so you feel confident going into the store and you know exactly what you're looking for. Read labels carefully and be on the lookout for high FODMAP ingredients. So this is what I'm going to run through today, how to pinpoint or how to look for those high FODMAP hidden ingredients. And finally, look for the FODMAP friendly or MONASH certification logos. I'll show you what they look like now. So the first one here is the Monash University logo. Monash University do a lot of research into the low FODMAP diet, as well as testing foods and food products for their FODMAP content. So what companies can do is send their products to Monash for testing. They will put the product through the certification process and then provide a low FODMAP serve size if it passes the tests. So this label or symbol, it overrides the ingredient list. So if a product has this symbol on it, you don't need to go through the ingredients list and try and pinpoint if it's low FODMAP or not. Just check the nutrition information panel for the serve size that they recommend, and that is the serve size that the product is low FODMAP at. So as an example here, this first product is FODI or FODI. They make a lot of low FODMAP products and you see the symbol there in the top right-hand corner. If you were to turn the product over onto the back and look at the nutrition information panel, you might see something like 1 serve equals 1 bar, and that is the serve size that is low FODMAP. Another example here is a Muscle 7. So these are some stock cubes that we do find in Australia. You see that symbol there on the front. Just a note here, it's important to know that just because one flavor or one product under a certain brand is low FODMAP doesn't mean every flavor or product will be. So you need to still check between different products or different flavors to see which ones have the logo and which ones don't. The third example here is Vegemite. So you can see that this one, the symbol is a little bit more hidden. It's around the side. So the symbol may be on the front, it may be on the side, it may be on the back. Just have a little look to see if you can find it. And finally, this one is Freedom Foods Active Balance Cereal. You'll see there the symbol is in the bottom left-hand corner. Just a quick note on any claims that may say low FODMAP. As there's an increased awareness around the low FODMAP diet now, it means that a lot more companies are making low FODMAP products. So this is a good thing, meaning there's more products available for you to help you through the diet. However, what it also means is that some companies are claiming products to be low FODMAP. They may also say something like tummy friendly, fructose friendly, or even write the words low FODMAP. Unless it has one of these two symbols with it, it's not necessarily reliable. So you still need to check the ingredients list and see if it is low FODMAP, because I've seen quite a lot of products using these claims without the symbol and they're not accurate and often not low FODMAP. The second one here is FODMAP friendly. So this is another company that does test food products for their FODMAP content. So it's a registered certification trademark. So any products carrying this logo have been laboratory tested and proven to be low FODMAP in the manufacturer's specified serve size. This logo can also be used to safely identify low FODMAP foods. So as an example here is the Alpine breads. You see the symbol there on the front. Another example is Simply Wise Gnocchi. And the third one is FODMAP for You butter chicken sauce. You see the symbol on the front as well. So FODMAP for You are another company that do make quite a few low FODMAP products, so keep an eye out for them. And this is the nutrition information panel from the back of the butter chicken sauce. So when I say you need to look at the nutrition information panel and check the serving size, this is what I'm referring to. So for this one, serving size is 100 grams, servings per pack is 2. So for the butter chicken to be low FODMAP, you mustn't eat more than 100 grams or half the packet in one serve. Okay, next what we're going to look through is some examples of ingredients list to look for high FODMAP ingredients. So the first one here, we're looking at breads and flours and some ingredients to keep an eye out for. So on the left, we've got high FODMAP ingredients to avoid. So soy flour in large amounts, besan, chickpea or gram flour, coconut flour, lupin, dried fruit, inulin, also called chicory root fiber, is a big one to watch out for, wheat bran or wheat bread. So with wheat bread, one slice is actually low FODMAP. So this means small amounts of wheat in different products will be okay, but you just need to avoid larger amounts or larger than equivalent to one slice of bread. On the low FODMAP or the safe side, we have spelt or wheat sourdough, the FODMAP certified breads, so that's those breads with the symbols we've just talked about, and then gluten-free breads with no other high FODMAP ingredients. So if I was to look at a gluten-free bread, I'd be checking for things like no chickpea flour, no inulin, no chicory root fiber, and only small amounts of soy flour. So large amounts of soy flour would be high FODMAP. When we're looking at an ingredients list, it'll look something like this. An important note on ingredients lists is that they're in order. So the first few ingredients is what the majority of the product is made up of, and the ingredients at the end means there's not much in there. So something like soy flour, we only need to avoid in larger amounts. So if soy flour was in the first 3 or 4 ingredients, it might mean there's a lot of soy flour in that product and something to avoid. But if soy flour like this one is towards the middle or towards the end, there likely is a safer serve of that product. So just looking through these ingredients, it's the ingredients of this Tip Top raisin toast. Pause this video for a second if you can and have a look to see what high FODMAP ingredients you can spot. Okay, great. So some of the high FODMAP ingredients that I pinpointed there: wheat flour, mixed fruit, and soy flour. As we've just discussed, the wheat flour and soy flour might be okay if you had one slice, but the mixed or the dried fruit is high FODMAP, so automatically this product becomes high FODMAP. The next one we're looking at is milk products. So the main FODMAP we're looking at here is lactose. However, similar to the wheat, small amounts of milk or dairy products are actually okay on the low FODMAP diet. It's just avoiding moderate or larger amounts. So when we're looking at this list here, the high FODMAP ingredients to avoid: plain milk, buttermilk, custard, ice cream, evaporated milk, condensed milk, milk powder or milk solids in larger amounts, whey protein concentrate, wet cheeses over 2 tablespoons, and milk chocolate over 30 grams. On the low FODMAP side, we have the lactose-free alternatives. So lactose-free milk, lactose-free yogurt, lactose-free ice cream, all of these are going to be low FODMAP. And then hard or set cheeses, so just regular cheese is low FODMAP. Soft cheeses, cream, sour cream are okay up to 2 tablespoons. Butter and margarine, as they are actually low FODMAP and lactose-free. And then we have those dairy alternatives, so rice, almond, quinoa milk, soy milk products made from soy protein. Whey protein isolate, the protein powder, is actually low FODMAP, as long as there's no, of course, other high FODMAP ingredients added into the product. A small amount of milk chocolate's fine, a small amount of plain yogurt's fine, but ultimately larger amounts become high FODMAP for lactose. So here is an example of a yogurt, mango and blood orange yogurt. Again, if you can, pause the video, have a look through this ingredients list and see what FODMAPs you can find. So the ingredients I can pinpoint there include the yogurt. So it's not a lactose-free yogurt, so only 1 tablespoon of the actual yogurt would be low FODMAP. And then the mango puree, so mango is a high FODMAP fruit, so this would also make it high FODMAP. Just a quick tip when looking at dairy products, there is something called lactase, Lactase. This is an enzyme that breaks down lactose. So if you see a yogurt or a milk and it's got the word lactase written in the ingredients list, this would mean that the lactose content is reduced and likely make it low FODMAP, as long as there's no other high FODMAP ingredients such as mango in there. Some other high FODMAP ingredients to watch out for: So on the left here, we've got inulin, also called chicory root fiber, and sometimes it's called vegetable fiber. This is often found in gluten-free products, so such as bread, wraps, or pizza bases. I have also seen it in products such as coconut yogurt. It's used as a thickener sometimes. Garlic or onion powder in any form. Dehydrated vegetables can be another term for garlic or onion, and as is shallot or leek is also high FODMAP. So onion, garlic, shallot, and leek are often found in savoury products like soups, pasta sauces, flavour sachets, or simmer sauces. They usually be listed as such and should be avoided if you see those terms. However, because the onion family isn't technically an allergen, they don't have to be declared in plain English. So sometimes onion or garlic will also be called vegetable powder or dehydrated vegetables. The only way to know if that's what they're referring to is to contact the company directly and say, what are you referring to when you mean dehydrated vegetables? And they'll be able to tell you if it's garlic or onion. So if you want to go through that process to check, you can. Otherwise, it's something I'd recommend avoiding. Flavors and spices. So flavors and spices is another term that often confuses a lot of people. It may or may not be onion and garlic, depending on your country and your labeling laws. Here in Australia, I usually say flavors and spices are safe, and it doesn't refer to onion or garlic. But similar, you can contact the company directly to find out exactly what is in their product. On the low FODMAP side, we have all other fresh and dried herbs, and most thickeners such as cellulose, guar gum, xanthan gum. These are those thickeners and words that are usually in an ingredients list that makes it look really overwhelming and really long, but a lot of the time these thickeners are fine. Soy sauce, MSG, wheat glucose syrup, and wheat starch are all low FODMAP, as is hydrolyzed vegetable protein and malt from barley. So looking at another example here, we're looking at a packet of chips. So pause this video and have a look through the ingredients list and see what high FODMAP ingredients you can spot. Okay, so the ones that I can spot there, buttermilk or sour cream powder, onion powder, and garlic powder. So as we've just discussed, the buttermilk powder and sour cream powder, in terms of lactose content, would probably be okay at 1 serve of these chips, but the onion and garlic powder we have no safe serve of, so automatically this product is low FODMAP. So just a little tip, the first thing I usually do when I look at an ingredients list is just scan the ingredients list for the big high FODMAP ingredients. So if you see the word garlic, onion, or inulin, then automatically that product is going to be high FODMAP. So I put the product back without, reading every single word or checking every single word. And finally, we're looking at sugars and sweeteners. So on the high FODMAP column, we have things like apple juice, fructose, high fructose corn syrup, and honey. All of these terms here are high FODMAP and often are fructose in disguise. In the middle, we have those artificial sweeteners, things like maltitol, mannitol, and sorbitol. You'll notice that a lot of the artificial sweeteners end in ol or ol. It's not always the case, but a lot of the time, if you do see one of these words ending in ol, it can be a little trick to know, okay, I think this will be high FODMAP. On the right, we have low FODMAP alternatives. So most sugar, just regular sugar, is low FODMAP. So things like table sugar, brown sugar, icing sugar, and caster sugar, glucose syrup, rice malt syrup, pure maple syrup, stevia, sucralose, and equal are all low FODMAP. So as an example here, we're looking at some chewing gum. So it is a sugar-free product. So first thing, looking at something like a sugar-free product, I'd be keeping an eye out for these artificial sweeteners. So you'll see there in the ingredients list, we have sorbitol, maltitol, and mannitol. All of these are extremely high FODMAP, so it's a product I would be avoiding. What you'll also see that comes along with these artificial sweeteners, they also usually put the statement something like, excessive consumption may have a laxative effect. If you see that statement on a sugar-free product, it often does mean it has these artificial sweeteners that are high FODMAP in them. So just have a look at the ingredients list if you see that statement. Okay, so now it's your turn. Write out your meals for the week and write out a shopping list and have a go at label reading. Before you head to the shops, you might even want to practice at home looking through your cupboard, highlighting any ingredients that look high FODMAP to you. Just a general recap, remember to look for those symbols, so the MONASH symbol or the FODMAP friendly symbol. Keep the MONASH app really handy so you be familiar with how to look through that app and find products in there before you go in. Any lists that your dietitian may have given you, bring them with you to the shop. And basically, it's just a bit of time and patience and practice. It does get easier with time, I promise. So good luck. Again, I would love to connect with you, so please feel free to message me on Instagram if you found this helpful. And good luck on your low FODMAP journey.